CD Projekt's a company that a lot of people have been talking about over the past year, and not for the most positive reasons. We had Cyberpunk 2077's bug-filled launch, lawsuits filed against the company, and over the past week there's been a massive controversy surrounding CD Projekt and GOG because of Hitman, because it's being review bombed on the platform due to it featuring DRM, and what's worse is that GOG has come out saying they're actively removing negative reviews from the game's storefront page. I have a lot of different information here that I want to read, but before we get into the topic at hand, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon for just $1 a month or supporting via memberships. All of the links are in the description, and of course, I do really appreciate all of the support. So I have a couple of different articles that I want to read, but the first one is from BitTech. It says Hitman Game of the Year review bombed on GOG due to DRM. Last week, Hitman Game of the Year edition was released on GOG, and this is a pretty good game, a game that a lot of people like. A lot of people were excited for the Game of the Year version to release, especially on GOG, but it says the game was a welcome injection into the GOG library, which isn't the biggest PC games collection around. Most will already know GOG is owned by CD Projekt Red, so while it is a great place to buy AAA games like The Witcher 3 or Cyberpunk 2077, most of the other games are older titles, remasters, etc. Now, I personally have always supported GOG because their platform is supposed to offer DRM-free games, and that's really appealing to me and a lot of other people. It's what's made their platform successful. Being able to buy, download, and keep the install files to play a game wherever and whenever you want is something that a lot of people like, but when you see games with DRM on this supposedly DRM-free platform, it makes you worry about supporting the company. It says one of the core appealing aspects is that it sells PC games DRM-free, even its most modern titles. This is great for game lovers who might want or need to play offline. However, despite GOG's no DRM reputation, it seems like some aspects of Hitman Game of the Year have got caught in this unpleasant net. If you look up GOG, it literally says it is a DRM-free platform. All of their games say DRM-free under the title, like it's so unique and amazing that every game on this platform is DRM free, even though they've said for years, oh, we're a DRM free platform, but apparently that's not really the case. There's a lot of worry surrounding GOG at this point because they've promised for years that it's going to be one way and that they're not going to offer DRM games. Yep, they are. One of the core appealing aspects of GOG is that it sells PC games DRM-free, even its most modern titles. This is great for game lovers who might want or need to play offline. However, despite GOG's no DRM reputation, it seems like some aspects of Hitman Game of the Year have got caught in this unpleasant net. And it's true, if you look up GOG online, it says we're a DRM-free platform, we offer DRM-free games, and obviously that's very attractive to a lot of players online. But it says on the Hitman Game of the Year page, there is a why buy on GOG.com callout box, which says the game will be DRM free, no activation or online connection required to play. Again, this is what makes GOG so different and unique, is because they offer DRM free games. Otherwise, they're just another Steam. It's why they're a successful platform. It says this isn't strictly true. Another call-out box atop the game description seeks to let would-be purchasers know about some occasions the game might have to connect to game servers. Please note the internet connection is required to access a bunch of different things, like escalation missions, exclusive targets, or user-created contracts. Story and bonus missions can be played offline, explains this info section. However, this explanation isn't enough for many users, and this is the reason for gamers review bombing the page. Now, when it comes to GOG, yes, the platform does have more censorship because they curate the games they have. It is harder to get your games on GOG than it is on something like Steam, which is one of the reasons why there's less content, and of course, another reason is because a lot of companies don't want to deal with DRM-free software, and they've always promised to being able to download and keep the install files to play offline without ever needing to connect to online servers. And while yes, this game doesn't technically require you to connect to the internet to play, you're missing tons of vital features in the game if you don't connect to the internet, which is a huge downside to this situation and buying this version of the game on the GOG storefront. So I also wanted to show off this next article that says GOG says we will not tolerate review bombing after Hitman release sparks online DRM backlash. They are actively removing negative reviews from this game's page. It says while Hitman's story and bonus missions can be played offline, there are a lot of features which you do need an internet connection to access. And what has emerged since is you also have to be online to unlock new equipment, starting locations, to get mission scores and level up your location mastery. This game has so many features locked behind an online connection. Of course, people are going to be furious over this. It says all this combined caused some GOG users to leave negative reviews for the game, complaining about the online nature of certain parts of the experience. So much of the experience is locked behind an online connection. It says at the time of this article's publication, it was at a 1.4 out of 5 overall rating. And I wanted to read a couple of the reviews because it is still sitting at a 1.4 out of 5 stars, but GOG is actively removing a lot of negative reviews, which is such a shame to hear. Instead of taking the criticism and running with it and saying, okay, we hear you guys, you're upset. No, they're just trying to ignore the situation and delete negative reviews. It says most of the reviews mention online DRM. Once we scroll down, GOG responded via a forum post that told disgruntled customers they are free to refund Hitman if they're not happy and to issue a warning over review bombing. We're looking into it and will be updating you in the coming weeks. In case you have purchased Hitman and are not satisfied, you can use your right to refund the game. At the same time, while we're open for meritful discussion and feedback, we will not tolerate review bombing and will be removing posts that do not follow our guidelines. Now, a massive problem here is GOG coming out and saying we're gonna remove negative comments. Review bombing is sometimes the only way customers can show their dissatisfaction with not only a product, but also a company. These companies don't have open complaint lines that you can call and air your problems to, and most of them don't actually look at their social media for feedback. Sometimes review bombs are only done out of, pure malicious intent, of course. There are those people on the internet, but a lot of times they're done because there's no other avenue to criticize a developer or a platform. I, of course, want to read a couple of the negative reviews here, but people are saying things like 1 star out of 5, online DRM. This game has online DRM. You can play through the game with the basic options, but many features such as unlocking weapons, items, outfits, locations, and more are locked behind an online requirement. The GOG page does not make this clear and is extremely misleading. Somebody said always DRM, game progression is locked behind an always online requirement. Going to the next page, it says, here is what you can expect with an always offline Hitman experience. No rating system, no unlocks, no progression, only default starts, only default stashes, no loadout available, 95% of playable content missing. This is such a disappointing situation to hear, and it's not even just the fact that this game has DRM, it's also that GOG is actively removing negative reviews, whatever they deem as negative. If they say, oh my gosh, this review is too negative, we're gonna remove it, we're not going to allow it on the game's storefront page. This is just such a disappointing situation overall. There are multiple different things that are terrible with this situation. It's not just one. I really have liked GOG in the past. I've used it for a long time, but this is a big situation that I truly feel enough people are not talking about. Even the verified owners rating right now is a 2.8 stars out of 5, and then the filters based ratings is a 1.2 out of 5. It doesn't seem like a lot of people are very happy with this situation, and I get why. There are no 2, 3, 4, 5-star reviews here. If we go page after page, they're all 1 stars talking about this. Online saves really, always online DRM, bad release, not DRM free. I truly hope in the coming weeks GOG comes out and makes a statement about this and they say, we're sorry for the way that we responded, we shouldn't have been removing negative reviews, but unfortunately, I doubt they're going to do that. I bet they're going to try to stay quiet about the situation, let it slip under the rug, let everyone forget about it, and then maybe there will be an update to this. But in the end, if you want to purchase this game, purchasing it on GOG isn't going to get you a DRM-free version of it. You're going to have to deal with online connections if you want 90% of the content in the game, which is a massive problem. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.